Welcome to Wheels on Wednesdays. I am here with former Missouri Tiger kicker Tom Wheelahan, and we are at Adkins Stadium in Jefferson City, home of the Jays, home of a couple of your former teammates, Ted LePage, head coach of the Jays,
That's
and
right.
Terry Walker now on staff. You played football with them at Mizzou.
You know, Terry Walker was a scholarship guy his freshman year, played his true freshman year after 2 years, decided he wanted to go serve the country, go to the Air Force. That was fantastic. I thought it was great. And Ted LePage played a few years for us, and Bob Stoll and Craig Lammers also on that state championship team at Elias. So Jeff City was represented very well in that team.
Pretty good players from around here, aren't there?
Very, very good players, but they're not as good as the players from Texas, where I'm from, but they're good mid-Missouri players.
Let's talk high school football for a moment. Last week, both Jefferson City and Elias, two local teams here in the capital city, had leads at halftime. You thought they were going to win, and they took the foot off the gas pedal. Is that a problem? You've been around football for a while. You got to keep playing in that second half.
Having coached in high school and being a GA in Colorado, my philosophy is you want to choke them out as quickly as you can and take all their hope away. But I think nowadays coaches want to be too nice, and it's not about being nice, because if you're nice, you end up losing the game. But you know, you do what you got to do. But if it was me, I'd choke them out. When the other coach puts his second and third team in, that's when I call off the dogs.
Tom, Mizzou football won their third game of the non-conference season. They beat Indiana handily, 45-28. Is that a big win at Indiana?
It's a big win because in the first 8 times we've played them, we've never beat them. We were 0-6-2.
And you were on some of those teams.
You'd be quiet. Anyways, I went to the game. Indiana stinks. Brad Smith was like a video game, threw for almost 300 yards in the first half. And you know what? It's almost like a false sense of security. Yeah, they beat a Big Ten team, but they're the swallow dweller of the Big Ten teams. They're mostly freshmen and sophomores. They're going to be good in a few years, but the main thing is Andrew Wilson came back. Nobody got hurt. Franklin's upright, and we're going to play Arkansas State on Friday.
Is Franklin reminding you a little bit of Brad Smith now?
No, he is not reminding me. Brad Smith is Brad Smith. James Franklin is James Franklin. He has a little bit of both in him, but as you can see, he can run with his legs. But one thing he needs to learn to do is slide feet first, because in the SEC, he's going to have a long season if he doesn't do that.
All right. The Red Wolves come to Columbia. Does
Red
that
Bulls?
strike? I think they're called the Red Wolves from
Wolves.
Arkansas State. Does that strike fear into you?
The only thing that would strike fear in me is if the team got complacent and thought all they got to do was show up on Saturday and win. This team plays football. They give scholarships out too. But if they play the way they did in the first game against Indiana, we will be 4-0 going against Florida.
Do you get very excited about the non-conference schedule? I mean, these are 4 games that Missouri should win. Obviously, the talent is going to get a lot tougher when it comes to the SEC.
You know, there was an article in the paper the other day. Why are teams allowed? Is it just a money-making thing? Because you see teams winning 79-0, 76. That's boring football. But at the same time, those smaller schools get some publicity. They make a lot of money. But I like the way it was in the olden days. You play 4 big-time schools as your non-conference schedule. But teams don't want to do that anymore because they get banged up, and you don't want to do that in the SEC because you'll really be behind the 8 ball if you do that when the SEC starts.
Your records weren't all that great back in the 80s, but you did play some pretty tough non-conference teams.
We had Notre Dame, we had Wisconsin, we had Northwestern, who wasn't that great back then, Illinois. We didn't have any of these patsies, but the landscape has changed. All you got to do is win 6 games, and if you can win 3 of your patsy games, win 3 conference games, you go to a bowl game. So, I don't know, throw it up in the air.
Did you start this season thinking Missouri had a chance to win, 6, 7 games? And has that changed since they've won their first 3?
My prediction was 6-6 after what happened last year. But the Indiana game did change me a little bit. The defensive line is playing really, really good. They're 2 or 3 deep all across the board. I think now it's going to up it to 7. I'm going to go 7-5 now. And they're going to beat a team they shouldn't beat, and they're going to lose to a team they shouldn't lose to. But they will go 7-5 this year.
You going to tell me who those teams are?
I think they're going to beat Florida, but then I think they're either going to lose to Vanderbilt or Kentucky. They're just going to lose one of those games.
Okay, should be very interesting. SEC schedule, we'll talk more about that next week because it really gets tough. A 4-game stretch at Vanderbilt, at Georgia, Florida, and who I'm missing, South Carolina next at home.
Right.
There's a pretty good slate of action right there. Tom, last week we heard you sing a Lincoln Fight song that was unbelievably good. This week we have another feature talking about fans that come to football games?
I have my top 10 list that adult men should never do at a sporting event.
This is just for adult men.
Adult men only, and you know who you are. Number 10, if a foul ball is coming your way, do not knock a kid over to get it. Now, if a football comes in the stands, Go for it. Those are $100 a piece. Baseballs are $3. Don't do that. Number 9, fellas, no raising the roof. That is so 1980s. I saw someone do the Indiana game. I just want to throw my hot dog at them. Number 8, no jersey burning because your favorite player is scoring your team for more money. Don't burn the jerseys. Bring them to me. I'll wear them. Number 7, no zuzuvulas at a game. That is something you do with your neighbors at 2 in the morning, not to the fans sitting next to you who pay good money. Okay, number 6 on my top 10 list. If you're ever going to wear your home team's jersey, do not tuck it inside your jean shorts. Let it hang out, please. It's not a good look. Number 5, no face or body painting whatsoever, okay? I don't want to see your muffin top hanging out of your belt buckle when I'm trying to eat a plate of nachos. Unless you're a clown and you work for Barnum and Bailey Circus, no face or body paint for adults.
Got it.
Number 4, this is hygienic. No double dip in your nacho chip in your buddy's cheese sauce. That's just gross. Number 3, do not, and I repeat, do not let your lady get hit with a foul ball and have it shown on the news. She will kick you to the curb in a heartbeat. Number 2 on my top 10 list of things guys should never do
I'm learning
at
a
a
lot.
sporting event.
This is great stuff.
When the kiss cam comes around, do not shun her. Because you know what, fellas who are married, you've got to save your points. What you really want to do is go play poker with your buddies and drink beer and have a cigar. So save those points for later and give her a fat smooch on the lips, okay? And my number 1 thing guys should never do at a sporting event, when they are playing the national anthem, take your hat off. That is so disrespectful. Even if you don't believe in the war or whatever, take it off, because Rod and I can do these things and you can do your freedom things. Take your hat off when they sing the national anthem, and that's the top 10 things guys should never do at a sporting event.
Tom, that's good stuff. I learned a lot. Thank you for helping me out. I'm sorry that I probably failed on a few of those over the years, but I never tried the horn. That was impressive there.
Okay.
All right, question of the week. Last week was a female viewer wanted to know who is the best looking coach in the SEC in football.
I don't know if it was a homer, but Gary Pingle had 56%
Of the voting.
from
Wow.
Missouri. Nick Saban had 36% from Alabama.
Okay.
Muschamp from Florida, I think, had 6%, and James Franklin from Vanderbilt had 7%. I think it's 102%. Maybe I need to do my math.
Doesn't quite add up, but that's
that's
okay.
why I teach PE, Rod.
That's all
why I
right.
teach
Did
PE.
that surprise you, the voting?
Yeah,
That Pinker
kind
won
of. It
this
was a
thing?
homer thing, you know.
Okay.
I thought James Franklin would get a little bit more. He's a good-looking guy at Vanderbilt.
All right, so who do we have this week? We've got another question.
We're going to keep it in the SEC. A couple of my teacher friends at Russell Elementary School,
Okay.
This is what they want to find out. What SEC football coach could be the twin brother of Helen Hunt of Mad About You? She pulled him up. I mean, you put some hair and lipstick and some whatever, you could not even tell the difference.
That's a very interesting question. I've never heard that one before.
No, I didn't come up with that one.
Okay.
I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid.
All right. Hashtag AskWheels13. If you have questions, go to our website. You can find out a little more. And we want to thank Head Motor Company Kia for sponsoring our segment. Those are good guys over there.
Steve and Stuart Head and his father, they do a great job. Richard Head. Now listen, Kia deal of the week. $199 down, $199 a month, no money down. They'll give you some free Gatorade, a hug, slap on the way. They'll give you a free sticker, and you'll get a great car.
All right. I think you can't do any better than that. Hey, thanks a lot, Tom. Appreciate your time, and have a good week, all right?
You too. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next time.